Hi, this side Avit Bansal. I'm an author and a life coach in the art of conscious living. What many people today call is manifestation. And my main intention of coming here online is just one thing, to spread the right awareness about the phenomenon of life called manifestation. Today we step into one of the most miraculous abilities ever given to man, the power to revise. Revision is an art of changing your past through imagination. Not the past that sits in the old photographs, but the past that lives inside you. The emotional memory, the assumption, the meaning of that you actually attach to what has happened in your past. So Neville taught that nothing in your world has power to hurt you, except the state you entered and when the event occurred. And that state can be changed, even years later. So revision is not pretending something has never happened. It is recreating the inner experience so completely that your subconscious accepts the new version as the only truth. And when you revise, you're not fixing history, you're transforming the state of consciousness that has produced it. And the moment that state dissolves, its consequences dissolves with it. And this is the secret. Your past is not fixed. It is fluid. It is alive and completely obedient to your present imagination. Change it in imagination, and life must echo that change in your outer world. A man is haunted by the past. I've heard your concerns again and again. And when you say, when I imagine, the old memories come back, or when I visualize, the past interrupts me. And I want to say this, I completely understand, because you cannot build a great future while the old story keeps knocking at the door of your mind. But to make you understand this deeply, the art of revision, allow me to tell you a story. And just like you, I have met men from all the spheres of life. But one particular man stand out in the memory for this particular day. So this man had a habit of alcohol consumption and he was drunk most of the time. And by his very presence, you could tell he wasn't living in the present moment. He was living in a wound. So one day, he said something to me that struck like a lightning, and he said this exact word: I'm not living in the past. The past is living in me. To most people, this sounds very poetic, and some might even ignore it, some might laugh it off. But may I tell you, this is exactly what we do. We do not live in the old stories. Our old stories lives inside of us. And why is that? Because the subconscious mind has a peculiar nature. It does not store anything as past or then. It does not ask when, where, why, or how. It stores everything as now. It only knows the present feeling that is now. So as this man kept ruminating, or maybe kept replaying the scenes of his painful yesterday, this drunk man, to his conscious mind, it was just a memory, something that had happened a long time ago. But to his subconscious mind, it was something which is happening right now, fresh, alive, and immediate, because subconscious mind only feels present. So he was right. He wasn't living in the past. The past was living in him. And just understand this, for the conscious mind, your logical mind, the past is dead. But for the subconscious mind, the past is alive in the feeling. And whatever is alive can be changed, not the dead. So Neville said it perfectly. He said exactly this: the present does not recede into past. The present remains. The past in you is alive because you kept it alive. You revise it and it will vanish. And this is why revision exists, and this is why imagination has been given to you. So you can take the living past, you can reshape it, you can redeem it, and you free yourself from it. Because the moment you revise the past within, its power over your future dissolves. There's one misunderstanding I keep seeing in this community. People believe that by practicing revision, most of the people says this, and they believe it, People believe that by practicing revision, they are somehow changing the physical past, as if the old event will disappear from their life, as if history will rewrite itself. But let me tell you something very plainly, lovingly, but truthfully. Revision is not about erasing the event. Revision is about erasing the identity you formed because of the event. So let me repeat it once again. Revision is not about erasing the physical event. Revision is about erasing the identity that you have formed because of the event of the past. So just listen closely. The physical past has already played out on the screen of life. That's it. It is finished. It cannot be undone in the outer world. But the inner past, the meaning that you gave to it, the assumption you birthed from it, the concept of self you have adopted through it, through your bad experience or bad past, or your past in general, that is still alive inside of you. And that is what revision changes. You are not rewriting history. You are rewriting yourself. You are not changing what has happened. You are changing who you have become because it happened. And this is the real miracle. Because when the real inner identity changes, the outer life must follow. So understand this deeply. Revision does not touch the physical event. It touches the being who lived through the event. Revision does not modify the old circumstances. It modifies the consciousness that interprets them. Revision does not bend the past. It heals the person the past has produced. So Neville said exactly this. It is not the incident that needs revision, but the self who suffered from it. And that is the essence, and that is the power, and that is the real definition of a revision. You're renovating the inner you, the you who carried the shame because of the past, the you who carried the fear, the you who carried the rejection, the you who carried the wound. And once that identity dissolved, so do all the patterns, all the behaviors, and all the limitation that grew out of it. And suddenly the world treats you differently, not because the past has changed physically, but because you did. And this is revision, not the erasing of the past, but the rebirth of the self. So Neville Goddard said it beautifully. Each day, revise the day. Live the day as you wish you had lived it, and your tomorrow will be transformed. But what did he actually meant by revision? He was not asking you to erase the event. He wasn't telling you to undo the history. He was showing you something far more profound. Revision changes you, and that is you. When you revise the scene doesn't change. Your identity around it changes. The identity you carry is the state you live from it. And when that identity changes, the state changes. And when the state changes, your entire life and future must reorganize itself around the new state. And this is the heart of Neville's teaching. Revision is not about altering the outer world. It is about altering the inner man who has experienced it. It is the transformation of the self who has carried the memory, the assumptions, the beliefs born out of that event. You change the identity, you change the state. You change the state, you change the future that flows from that state. And this is the real power of vision. Not the rewriting of the past, but the rebirth of the one who has lived it. Now, let's come to the practical side of this lecture. Because understanding revision is just one thing, but doing it is where the transformation actually happens. This video, what I have given you, spoken to, is very short, precise, but it is accurate. I would highly suggest you to repeat it a couple of times just to understand the gravity of this concept of revision. So when you open 2026 Reality Architect series and you turn to day 7, Renovating the Past, Revision, you will notice something very intentional. There are 2 columns. First one is the event. Second one is the truth. So let me explain how to use them. In the event column, in this space, you simply mention the event you wish to revise. Just the title of it, just the headline, and do not go into the detail. We are not journaling the wound, we are just acknowledging the scene, the memory, that's it. For example, argument with the father, or maybe a rejection call. Just the title of it, embarrassing moment in the school. So that just by looking at it, you know what you're referring to, maybe the breakup conversation. And that's it, no analysis, no storytelling, what has happened, just a bookmark of it. Because the moment you go deep into the old story, you re-enter the state that has hurt you. And our purpose is to leave that state, not just revive it. And in the column 2, right in front of it, here's where the magic begins. So in this column, you write down exactly how you wish the event that has happened. The ideal version, your ideal version. The healed version, the empowering version. So instead of yelling, he told me that he was proud of me, you can write it. Or maybe I have received the acceptance call. Or they have congratulated me. He apologized and understood my point. In case of specific person, you can write she chose me with love. And you can go into all the details which you wish to experience in that memory of yours. You can include everything. And this is not denial, this is exactly design. You're giving your subconscious a new memory, a new truth to operate from. And to actually practice this, it is really beautifully simple. So at night, when you go to the bed and your body begins to relax, you gently recreate the scene in your imagination, your scene of your past, but only in its revised form. You rewrite the whole event, just imagine it. Do not go into the details whether I am seeing in a 4K definition or full HD definition. Just imagine it to your best capabilities. Exactly the way you wished it had unfolded before. You see it, you hear it, and you feel it. Feel is the important thing. Enter the version that blesses you, and then you go to sleep in that feeling. And that's all. No forcing, no analyzing, no trying to make it work. Just simply let it be. Just revise the scene and drift into sleep as though the revised version, is the only truth that has ever existed for you. And you do this for a couple of nights. The same scene for every night, or maybe if you sleep during the day, you repeat it. Until the weight of the old memory softens and it lightens and it finally loses its emotional grip. So first day you do it, you'll start to feel somewhat lighter. Next day you do it, the next day after that you do it, and after that, and completely you'll start to feel like, now this memory is not hurting me. And this is the biggest sign that it is working. And when the past starts to feel light, you can drop it. The work is complete. You don't have to worry about changing the physicality of the past. It is about the changing of identity revolving around that past. And remember this very carefully. When you imagine your future or when you remember your past, where does all of this happen? It happens right here, in this moment, in the now, in the present moment. And when you imagine a beautiful future, it makes you feel good. You feel good right now, not in the future, but right now, in this present moment. So when you recall an embarrassing moment from your past, you feel embarrassed right now when you are thinking about it, not in the past. It's not as if you open some magical door and you walk into the past or travel to the future and then come back again to the present. No. You do it all here, in the present moment. Inside your imagination, sitting right here, right now, inside your awareness, inside this eternal moment. Because the only moment that actually exists is now. And this is the secret most people miss. Your subconscious experiences everything in the present tense. It does not know then, it does not know tomorrow, it only knows now. Just as you imagine now, you remember now. You feel everything now. And this is why exactly Neville Goddard was absolutely right. Everything is you pushed out. Your subconsciousness pushed out. Your inner state pushed out. There's no future to visit. There's no past to stay trapped in. The only creative moment you have at your hands, the only doorway to transformation is this moment, right now. So the decision is yours. Will you replay the old story in the now, in the present moment, or will you imagine the new story in the now? Because whatever you choose, your subconscious accepts it as a truth and your world simply obeys.